Our journey begins with the first harm, the loss of biodiversity. Forests are more than just collections of trees. They are complex, intricate ecosystems teeming with life. They are the unsung heroes of biodiversity, providing shelter and sustenance to countless species, many yet to be discovered. When we fell these trees, we disrupt these ecosystems, causing unimaginable ripple effects. Imagine a world without the enchanting song of a bird or the rustle of leaves as a squirrel scurries by. It's not just about the loss of individual species, but the unraveling of the intricate web of life that these species support and rely upon. The effects are far-reaching, impacting everything from food chains to climate regulation. This loss of biodiversity is not just an environmental issue, but a survival issue. For as we are beginning to realize, the survival of these species is intricately linked with our own. As the trees fall, so do our unseen allies in the natural world. Next, we explore how deforestation fuels the fires of climate change. Forests are often referred to as the Earth's lungs. Imagine them as giant sponges soaking up carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and releasing oxygen in return. This process is known as the global carbon cycle. Now, when trees are cut down, they can no longer perform this crucial function. Instead, they release the stored carbon back into the atmosphere as they decay or are burned. This not only disrupts the carbon cycle but also contributes to the greenhouse effect, trapping more heat and accelerating global warming. And it's a vicious cycle. As our planet heats up, forests become more susceptible to wildfires, which release even more carbon dioxide. It's like a snowball rolling downhill, getting bigger and faster. So you see, deforestation doesn't just remove trees, it destabilizes our entire climate system. Without our green guardians, the temperature keeps rising. Our third harm takes us to the disrupted water cycles due to deforestation. Trees are not just the lungs of our planet, but also its kidneys. They play a crucial role in maintaining the water cycle by absorbing rainfall and releasing water vapor back into the atmosphere. This process, known as transpiration, helps regulate our planet's climate, ensuring that water is distributed evenly around the globe. When these trees are cut down, the water cycle takes a hit. The rainfall isn't absorbed and released back as effectively, leading to a significant decrease in cloud formation and consequently less rainfall. This change can lead to prolonged periods of drought in some areas and flooding in others. Moreover, trees help prevent soil erosion by holding the soil together with their roots. Without them, we lose our first line of defense against this destructive process. The ripple effects of deforestation reach even our water supply. Now, let's delve into the economic impact of deforestation on local communities. Forests are not just havens of biodiversity, they are also the lifeblood of many communities around the world. These communities depend on forests for their livelihoods in various ways. Some engage in sustainable logging, harvesting timber without depleting the forest. Others depend on ecotourism, where the beauty and biodiversity of the forest attract visitors from around the globe. And then there are those who follow traditional practices, using the forest resources for food, shelter, and other needs. However, when deforestation occurs, these communities lose their primary source of income. The trees they once relied on for sustainable logging are gone. The unique ecosystems that attracted tourists disappear. The traditional resources they depended on for survival are no longer available. This can lead to increased unemployment and poverty, effectively destabilizing these communities. When the forests vanish, so does the community's lifeline. Moving on, we turn our attention to increased greenhouse gas emissions. Picture our forests as vast vaults of carbon storage. They quietly and efficiently store carbon in their trunks, leaves, and even the soil beneath them. But when these trees are cut down and burned or left to decompose, the stored carbon is released back into the atmosphere as carbon dioxide, a notorious greenhouse gas. This process transforms our forests from being climate saviors to climate culprits. It's like a double whammy for our environment. We lose our precious carbon absorbers and simultaneously pump more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This vicious cycle accelerates the pace of climate change, leading to more extreme weather patterns, rising sea levels, and a host of other environmental issues. The trees that once protected us now add fuel to the fire. Our sixth harm reveals a potential loss of life-saving resources. Forests are not just a home to numerous species, they are also a treasure trove of medicinal plants. Many of the drugs we use today are derived from these plants. Imagine all the potential cures and treatments hidden within the lush canopies and dense undergrowth, waiting to be discovered. However, with every tree felled, we risk losing these medical miracles to deforestation. It's not just about the plants we know and use now, but also those we have yet to discover. The implications of this loss are vast, potentially impacting future medical advancements and our ability to combat diseases. Imagine a world where the cure for a future pandemic lies within a forest, but we lose it before we even knew it existed. This is a grim reality we could face if deforestation continues unchecked. Each tree felled could be a missed chance at a cure. Our final segment unveils the threat to indigenous cultures due to deforestation. Forests are not just clusters of trees. They are homes, places of worship, and sources of sustenance for numerous indigenous communities worldwide. These communities share an intimate, symbiotic relationship with their forest environments, often spanning countless generations. The encroachment of deforestation threatens to dismantle these relationships. It erodes their traditional ways of life, stripping them of their homes, their food sources, and their spiritual connections. The loss is not only theirs, it's a loss for all of us. As these cultures face the threat of extinction, we risk losing their unique knowledge, their diverse languages, their ancient traditions, and their invaluable perspectives on living harmoniously with nature. In essence, deforestation is not just an environmental crisis, it's a cultural crisis too. As the forests fade, so does a piece of our cultural heritage. As we conclude, we see that the silent crisis of deforestation affects us all. The loss of biodiversity, the amplified effects of climate change, the disruption of water cycles, and the economic impact on local communities are just a few of the harms we face. Not to mention the increased greenhouse gas emissions, the loss of medicinal resources, and the threat to indigenous cultures. Yet, it's not all doom and gloom. We can make a difference. By supporting sustainable practices, choosing products with deforestation-free labels, and advocating for stronger forest protection policies, we can help combat this crisis. Remember, every tree saved is a step closer to a healthier, greener planet. So let's start today. Join us in this journey. Share this video to spread awareness, and consider supporting organizations that protect our forests. Remember, your actions today will determine the forests of tomorrow. Stay green.